You are currently witnessing the terrifying shift in the history of Japanese anime, a structural crisis unlike any before. What if the monumental, miraculous success of Demon Slayer is actually destroying the anime you love from the roots? By the end of this video, you will know the shocking truth about how visual supremacy has crippled One Punch Man and the entire industry. The structural crisis, the Demon Slayer syndrome. You are being forced to confront the immense gravity of a transitional era, a fierce, unprecedented challenge facing the entire history of Japanese animation. It is a reality that you are currently witnessing. Can you bear to believe the horrifying truth you might want to look away from? The fact that the undeniably colossal, miraculous, and unprecedented mega-success of Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, which stands at the pinnacle of the anime world, is, in fact, structurally and universally destroying the very anime you love with all your heart, right from the deep-seated roots of the production process. This current industry-wide phenomenon, which we call the Demon Slayer syndrome, is no longer just the success of a single work. It is accelerating headlong into an incurable disease that is devouring the vital capital of the anime world. Why has the concept of visual supremacy, which now completely overshadows everything in anime and knows no bounds, accelerated at an impossible, unstoppable speed by anyone, by any studio? Why has it birthed a dangerous, fatal culture that severely neglects the robust arteries of storytelling, the work's script and pacing, and its very heart? And how has this overwhelming demand and biased prioritization deeply wounded the acclaimed masterpiece, One Punch Man, causing its glorious shield of fame to begin crumbling? This video is not merely a critique, it is a philosophical question about where Japanese anime stands now and where it must go. The unattainable standard set by Ufotable. It is no exaggeration to say that the key to modern anime success rests entirely in production quality, that is, visuals and animation. Demon Slayer is the prime, universally acknowledged example. While the original story is often described as simple and strong in classic shonen manga elements, the overwhelming, artistic quality of the animation by Ufotable goes beyond all boundaries. This quality has completely shielded any minor weaknesses and forcefully pushed the series to become a global mega-franchise with resolute strength. The artistry Ufotable created presented a new model for anime success to the world, but in exchange, it distorted the most important ally of any work, the importance of the script. This distortion from a warped success is now having profound effects everywhere in the anime industry. But here is where the chilling reality sets in. The extremely critical problem is the painful truth of the Japanese anime industry. Not all anime are as blessed in production as Demon Slayer. While Demon Slayer was able to secure the best conditions in terms of both source material and budget, most other works are placed on a highly disadvantageous battlefield where they must maintain animation quality with severely limited resources. The extreme success of Demon Slayer has unfortunately created a phenomenon where no one takes seriously the disparity in production quality of other works. The impossible replication of Ufotable's magic. Let's do a quick deep dive into the specifics of Ufotable's magical visual techniques. They don't just make things move, they ingeniously fuse digital painting and 3D CG into two-dimensional animation. For instance, Tanjiro's Hinokami Kagura, sun-breathing, techniques make the viewer experience highly abstract consciousness with the weight of reality, through godlike camera movements and dense fluid dynamics that are virtually impossible to replicate. This has the power to obliterate all script explanations and make emotional investment intensely powerful. Hold on, because this is the critical insight. It is scientifically impossible for average anime to aim for this level of animation with the current Japanese production structure. Why? Because Ufotable pours vast time and budget into their work with the premise of making a movie-level experience, and the workload intensity for individual animators goes far beyond the complete limits of the domain. While these impossible conditions made Demon Slayer a miracle, they also created a distorted structure that constantly subjects every other anime to comparative scrutiny and forces them to produce an impossible level of visual quality. The One Punch Man tragedy, mismatched priorities. Especially when we look at the current state of One Punch Man Season 3, it becomes vividly clear just how profoundly this dangerous precedent unconsciously created by Demon Slayer is affecting general anime. One Punch Man was practically guaranteed success due to the overwhelming, game-changing animation quality of Season 1, handled by Madhouse. Madhouse perfectly captured the unique parody spirit of the original author one and the raw energy of Murata Yusuka's hyper-technical artwork, creating an immortal masterpiece for the anime history books. Season 1 showcased a perfect synergy where the power of the visuals effectively enhanced the story. It was this perfect start that fueled the fans' undying expectation for Season 3. However, here's the unexpected twist. Since the production studio was changed to JC Staff after that miraculous success, the franchise has visibly declined. Season 2, in particular, saw a drastic drop in animation quality, disappointing many fans greatly. And this problem has only worsened in Season 3. Fans, having learned from the painful experience of Season 2, tried not to have excessive expectations, but they held on to the faint hope that it would at least be slightly better than Season 2. But watching the currently unfolding Season 3, it is painfully clear that the problem is not merely the low quality of the animation. The production budget has been clearly minimized, and attention to detail is severely lacking in scenes outside of action or key moments. This might be a tough, strategic but wrong decision by the production side to save the budget for truly important fight scenes, but it becomes a fatal flaw for the anime as a whole. The decline in animation causes a loss of tension in all scenes, hindering the story's immense potential. Fan comments from the American anime community are harsh. The recent art is no longer One Punch Man, it's One Chalk Man, a stinging jab at the minimal detail. The fatal flaw, redundant scripting. The detail that shocked the community most is yet to come. The core analysis of why the visual decline in One Punch Man is more critical lies in the source material's design. One Punch Man's charm largely resides in the incredibly meticulous and delicate designs of Murata Yusuka's original work. His artwork is so detailed that each panel is called a non-moving movie, and thus, adapting it requires tremendous resources. The studio change meant the new studio couldn't inherit the previous season's techniques, forcing them into a fatal decision: maintaining an average level of animation that simply doesn't suit Murata's artwork, effectively shattering the unique identity of One Punch Man. But the truly alarming issue in Season 3 is the script. One of the biggest points of dissatisfaction is the redundant script, where characters talk endlessly with unnecessary detailed information. Audiences want to see Saritama fight, not drawn-out expositions. For example, the never-ending conversation panels between Sekingar and Child Emperor, and later with Shichi, in Season 3 Episode 4 is a terrible instance. Child Emperor advises Sekingar against involving Genos and Silver Fong in the Monster Association infiltration mission. He suspects Genos might be a spy due to his mysterious newcomer status, and questions Silver Fong's loyalty for letting Garou escape. This information could have been conveyed to the audience much more simply and briefly. However, the same topic continues in a redundant development, being discussed again between Sekingar and Shichi. In a season that should be moving at a tense pace toward the final arc, this unnecessary repetition severely drains the audience's focus. International fans, especially, are expressing great anger, noting that this long-windedness is something that would never happen in a Hollywood production, a warning bell about anime pacing. Pacing paralysis, the failure to adapt. But this is still only the beginning. A further critical issue is that the planning meeting before the S-Class heroes attack the Monster Association could also have been more effectively shortened without delving into details that the audience mostly doesn't care about. If the animation were smooth and the conversations were conducted with moving images, these redundant elements might not have irritated viewers so much. Instead, the audience witnesses still images where characters just move their mouths, and the episode is stretched out by protracted strategic conversations. 6 episodes have already passed since the new season began, but the actual infiltration operation, the highly anticipated event, has not yet started. Precisely because the animation quality is subpar in One Punch Man Season 3, a superior script, meaning bold cutbacks and revisions, was absolutely necessary. If the original's art level could not be perfectly reproduced, at least the dialogue could have been significantly reduced, but unfortunately, that hasn't happened. The result is an endless information dump that barely advances the story. Wait for this next crucial revelation. Here, a better pacing could have potentially made even average visuals acceptable. This makes One Punch Man a fatal case study of a series that failed to replicate Demon Slayer's winning formula of visuals redeeming everything. The hidden flaws of Demon Slayer's script. Demon Slayer also has issues with being overly explanatory, but the legendary, world-changing visuals of Ufotable rescue it, preventing the same level of online criticism. This state demonstrates the distorted and conscious reality of the anime world. However, the real truth will be revealed next. Demon Slayer is currently the most profitable franchise, with multiple movies breaking box office records. Fans love the story, which heavily emphasizes the sibling bond, where the older brother, Kamado Tanjiro, fights demons to find a cure for his sister, Nezuko. But as a concept, it's a basic premise with a simple, linear plot where the hero rarely faces genuinely difficult human struggles or internal moral conflicts. Tanjiro completes mission after mission, moving straight toward an unwavering goal. His journey is not without hardship, but it is not complex enough to be considered a masterwork of philosophical depth. Demon Slayer won by turning the premise on its head. Its magnificent animation carried even the most basic of storylines. Ufotable pours its heart and soul into crafting every single frame, delivering visual beauty that far surpasses the previous work each season. The depiction of the explosion in the Swordsmith Village arc is talked about as one of the most realistic and high-performance explosion scenes in modern anime. They never fail to deliver spectacle, and the recent movie, Infinity Castle arc, is living proof. Yet, this is still only the beginning. Demon Slayer, like One Punch Man, also has script issues. Specifically, the Infinity Castle arc movie format has been plagued by endless flashback scenes and out-of-place character narration, further worsening the film's already choppy pacing. These issues are less noticeable in the TV series, but the moment it became a theatrical film format, the deep-rooted script problems surfaced all at once. The production company isn't entirely to blame, as they faithfully animated everything in the original. However, the original work itself, where the storyline and characters heavily rely on emotional catharsis and carry pacing concerns from the start, could do little to save the film's script. Had effective changes been made to suit the film format, it might have been far more satisfying from a script perspective. The ultimate comparison, correctable versus core flaws. The most crucial phase is coming up next. The contradictions of Demon Slayer are rarely discussed or regularly pointed out because the overall visual quality, combined with superb music, allows for massive tolerance of all other flaws. As a complete package, it ultimately provides a viewing experience so wonderful that fans don't care about the script stumbles. As a result, even though the Demon Slayer franchise relies heavily on films to monetize its popularity, fans continue to enthusiastically flock to the theater with every new release. The brilliant visuals of Demon Slayer permit flaws that would never be tolerated in One Punch Man. Comparing Demon Slayer and One Punch Man solely by numbers or visuals might not be essentially meaningful, as the two are spiritually very different. However, it is also true that both are highly scrutinized works, providing a fascinating case study to judge which series is ultimately superior. One Punch Man was significantly devalued by the surrounding circumstances, not because the original content was bad. While its premise is simple, its parody storytelling creates a unique comedy and is widely accepted by most viewers. It deconstructs the hero genre, satirizes common superhero tropes, and stands as a unique anime. Therefore, considering the script, One Punch Man undoubtedly has the potential to surpass Demon Slayer, which features virtually no groundbreaking elements. But here is the real revelation. The metaphors Demon Slayer follows are staples of most shonen manga series, from Bleach to Naruto. It offers a classic hero's journey, where a protagonist shaped by a traumatic past or family loss pursues a central antagonist while gathering loyal companions. The emotional backstories are moving but contribute little to rigorously elevating the overall plot. The final verdict: One Punch Man can be saved. Therefore, it is no exaggeration to assert that One Punch Man has a correctable problem that can be solved simply by a studio change. It is the limitations of the production studio that are preventing it from being the solidified hit it should be. Despite Season 3 being unremarkable, it retains widespread popularity and frequently ranks high on charts. This fact shows the true, inherent potential of the One Punch Man original work. Conversely, Demon Slayer harbors more deeply rooted problems stemming from the source material itself. These flaws are so entrenched that even Ufotable's magnificent animation cannot completely mask them, ultimately exposing the story's intrinsic weaknesses. As a result, Demon Slayer's flaws feel far more permanent, and it is too late for a franchise entering its final arc to transform into a more compelling anime. Ultimately, while One Punch Man may be stumbling, we can calmly state that it is Demon Slayer, with its core, unfixable structural defects, that is truly disappointing fans. One Punch Man still has a chance for a do-over. Only by accepting this subtle truth can anime fans gain the power to discern the true essence of a work. Conclusion and call to action, CTA. Finally, let us clarify the path we, as fans, must take to prevent the current decay of the anime world. Demon Slayer's success has reinforced the intense demand for visuals, but the labor conditions and budgets of the production floor are not matching it. Recognizing this reality, fans should demand intelligence in storytelling and pacing, not just the luxury of animation quality. Production companies must also break away from faithful source material replication and undertake effective, intelligent editing suited to the anime format. The restoration of One Punch Man's Season 1 quality will be a crucial symbol, not a luxury, to reform the consciousness of Japanese anime today. The true power of anime is born from a story that resonates with the heart, not from mere flashy brilliance. We must now cross the chasm between popularity and rational quality. This channel is a news specialist that brings you the now and the next of the anime world faster than anyone, along with deeply dug-out structural analysis. We don't just provide superficial information, we deliver detailed analyses that get to the core structure of the anime industry and the essence of the works, every single day without fail. To know the truth hidden beneath the visual splendor and enjoy anime more deeply and logically, if you thought this video resonated with you, please hit the like button right now and subscribe to the channel. And turn on the bell mark, notification button, to ensure you absolutely do not miss any future shocking breaking news and strategic analysis. We sincerely await your passionate comments. The future of anime depends on our intelligent discussion. Your single like and comment might be the final drop that triggers the Japanese anime revolution.